Hello, gorgeous beings. This is a free clearing. Today we're going to do some clearing around self-care. It's coming into the holiday season and it's intense, man. It's an intense time. There's so much going on the global stage. There's so much going on environmentally. There are natural disasters. There's just so much, and it can become absolutely overwhelming. And when we move into holiday time, we have a tendency to put a tremendous amount of pressure on ourselves to create an experience for others, for our family, for our loved ones, friends that we think of or feel are our soul family. We want to create an experience, and in the frenzy to do that, we can really lose track of our personal care boundaries. And for some of you, you might even be sitting there thinking, what the heck are personal care boundaries? So, personal care boundaries are the elements that we put in place in order to keep our own gas tank filled up so that we are able to do the things that we need to do in our day-to-day life, to take care of our loved ones, to stay on purpose, to fulfill our personal mission. And it's essential that we have those. So some examples: meditation, yoga classes, 10 minutes to sit down, 15 minutes to sit down with a cup of tea and a cup of coffee and just breathe. Journaling, doing morning pages. There are so many different things that we can incorporate as part of our self-care boundaries. And so what I want to look at today in terms of this energy clearing is, where are you blocked in really setting that up for yourself? Where is there a block here? Where are you holding yourself to a standard in terms of the holiday season where you are giving, and depleting yourself? And so by the time the holidays show up, the day of, everyone arrives, you're ready to just fall on the floor, or you are in fight or flight. And the little things that people are doing that are getting on your nerves or making you not want to participate or be with others. So let's look at that. So I'm going to start with a little prayer of intention. I'm just going to, if possible, have you relax your body for a moment and close your eyes, take a breath, and I'm going to do the same. So I would like to call upon and invoke or bring forth the very highest vibration of source energy, the energy of love, divine intelligence, wisdom, light, understanding, to step into this clearing. I'd like to ask that all of the beings who are working with us come forward with ease, that any negative or limiting themes, challenges, choices, or programs that need to be clear easily and effortlessly, that I remain neutral and clear. And so it is. And so I'm going to ask to please connect my high self committee, the group of beings working with me, to your high self committee, the beings who are working with you. And I just want to affirm, if I'm working with myself, listeners, high self, or both, I'm getting both. And so just so you have a visual and understanding of what I'm doing, I'm channeling through the information, and I'm utilizing a pendulum in order to fact check what I'm receiving intuitively as I'm channeling or bringing through the information. So it's sort of like they're both happening sort of simultaneously. And so what else do we need to look at? So let's put a bubble of love and light around the listener. Myself, listeners, high self are both good. So how long will it take to apply the prep to work list to me, my high self, listener, their high self? Let's apply it now. So there's an energy here where you have inherited these types of expectations from your family. So maybe as you were growing up, you saw your mother or your father or your grandmother or your aunts, uncles really getting into this frenzy, this perfectionism. It has to be like this. We have to have every single traditional holiday dish, all of the things that we've always made, all of the recipes, or else if we don't, everything's ruined. And so this kind of pressure to uphold traditions. So let's just look before we go there. Let me just make sure, because I want to make sure that I'm neutral and clear on behalf of this session. So what's the lowest level of consciousness for anyone on my high self committee? Everybody who's working with me, where is my soul's consciousness or level of awareness? Lowest level of consciousness for anybody on listeners, high self. Let's clear, elevate, educate their high self committees. And let's make sure that all vows, contracts, oaths, agreements, or obligations to have to follow a tradition are released so that we can bring some breathing room, some creativity, some space for the holidays to be co-creative, that people aren't just experiencing this martial law of it has to be the way it's always been. Let's create some space so that you can be present and give yourself and others what you and they need in the now. So there's an energy here about upholding a tradition. So let's go ahead and just double check now. Lowest level of consciousness for anybody on listeners, high self committee, they're all the way up there. My ego, listeners, ego, do they have any openings, holes, rips, tears? Discarnate separates, entities, attachments, clear and remove them now. Any other discarnate separates, entities, attachments, vortex, or portal energies? To what degree are they in their physical body? To what degree are they in their life? Over 100%. Okay, so let's look at this vows, contracts, oaths, agreements to follow a tradition. Clear the infinites of reasons, the hundreds of reasons, and the thousands of levels. So this is a perception or a judgment that if you don't do this, if it's not perfect, if it's not the way it's always been traditionally, then it means that you're a failure, or it means that you are offending, you're dishonoring your ancestors, your family, deceased loved ones. So let's clear all paranoia on that subject. Where else is there a pressure that listener would put on themselves to make everything perfect? It has to just be perfect. Clear all of the guilt around this. Clear the hundreds of reasons, the thousands of reasons, and the infinites of levels. Where else is the belief that it has to be perfect? So what do we need to bring into this holiday season? And I'm asking, and let's look at some of these elements. We want to bring in an energy of creativity, determination to have fun, a determination to have fun relating to what? Harmony, love, comfort, adventurousness, humor, playfulness, joy, not forced joy, not pressure, not we have to be perfect and laugh when we don't feel like laughing. Really authentic expression of joy. Let's clear all blocks to vitality. So what else do we need to look at? Where else is there a pressure to be perfect here? And where else is there a pressure to do more than one can do and really exhaust the body, exhaust the mind? Clear abandonment, overwhelm, panic, feelings of slavery to the traditions of others, resentment, and disappointment. The other thing I'm hearing here is if you've always been the person that everyone comes to and you have always provided the spread, the environment, for you to now start to delegate to others. I'm going to do the hors d'oeuvres, or I'll do the turkey, or I'll do this, and you're going to do, these things. You're going to bring this. That there's a co-creative energy here that you allow others to make a contribution. In your role as the provider of the experience, you may have gotten a bit controlling about what you would let other people do. That's the old get out of my kitchen. Nobody's allowed in the kitchen but me. And so in that energy, you've created a separation here, and you've created an exhaustion and an anxiety, and are not allowing others to be a contribution. And really, what's the point of the holidays if it isn't to be connected to others? So we want to invite you to start to change how you're doing it. That even the process of preparing can be about togetherness and comfort and a lot of playfulness and laughter and fun, and get out of this perfectionistic mindset. So let's get back to self-care, because that's where I really wanted to shift for you. And let's look at where there's a block here to personal care boundaries. Let's clear exhaustion. Let's clear fatigue, energies of helplessness, abuse of self, paranoia, persecution, and energies of insecurity. Let's release it. To what degree do listeners believe that they're not allowed to have personal care boundaries? Over 100%. Oh, I'm selfish. If I take too much time for myself, it means I'm being selfish. No, it means that you are being self-focused. You're loving and caring for yourself so that when you go out to support others, you are full. You can actually do it. There will be no resentment. You feel balanced and whole within yourself. So let's clear all rage on this energy of having to sacrifice self, comfort, energy, vitality, personal care boundaries in order to support others. Clear the thousands of reasons, the hundreds of reasons, and the infinites of levels related to self-sacrifice. Clear infinite levels before thought, dysfunction of mind, programs, clear all replications, duplications, rebuilding, and mirror images. Let's clear these martyr programs. All of this kind of martyry, I'm going to put everybody else before me, and if maybe I get a little crumb of someone caring for me, I'll be grateful, but everybody's there for me to take care of. Let's dump that. It's creating separation for you, victimization, guilt, abuse of self, insanity, and energies of confusion. So let's go ahead and release these programs. Now, what I'm hearing about this is something that you inherited as an attitude or a perspective, a point of view, through your genetic lineage. So let's release that on mother's side and father's side. Anything else that we need to know about that? To what degree has that now been released? Or else are there blocks here to self-love or self-care? Now what I'm hearing here is, well, if I don't do it, no one will do it. And so where is that perception located? It's an energy of anxiety. It's an energy of anger. This is a part of you that's been disappointed in the past and now won't give anyone the opportunity to step up to the plate. And so what we want to do here is not have you test others, but have you communicate with others. And so let's clear all overwhelm, let's clear energies of victimization, and let's clear energies of hate of women. And so part of dropping this perfectionistic energy is that you want to be able to open up to allow others to contribute. And when they do, you're not in that critical parent archetype of criticizing how they show up, what they contribute, so that you can just receive what's there, that you can open yourself up fully to receiving from others. And so to what degree is that open now? 100%. Where else are we going? Let's clear major beliefs, the desire to escape, and let's clear multiple souls. Now, there's another piece of this story that I'm hearing to address, which is For those of you who have decided that you're doing the holidays in a completely different way than you've done it in the past, that you're not going to do the big family thing or you're not going to do the big friendship thing, maybe you've decided that this holiday season you're actually just going to go inward, that you're really going to just do your own thing. And so, what are we clearing for any listeners who are choosing that path? Let's clear programs of social suicide, clear programs of restlessness, resentment toward others, clear energies of helplessness, clear energies of overwhelm, and clear energies of frustration. What's the positive here toward being solo is 100%, negative is 0. So, what I'm hearing to tell you is that you really want to unleash your inner child, that you can have whatever experience you choose just by letting your own inner child out. That fun, playful, trusting energy, really creating a beautiful experience for yourself. That you have what you want to have, that you eat dessert first if you want to eat dessert first. Maybe it's a day of dessert. Maybe it's a day of champagne and dessert for you, and that's your holiday celebration. That you give yourself full creative freedom, that you dance around in your PJs with a bottle of champagne and yummy dessert, whatever you want to do, that you do it with joy, with creativity, that you create the experience for yourself. And so to create joy, to bring in joy, to utilize the holiday season as an experience of creativity and joy. Let's clear and remove any separates. Let's clear all discarnates in possession and discarnates in the aura. Now this is interesting because what I'm hearing to clear for you, everyone, regardless of what your holiday experience is going to be, what I'm hearing to clear for you is actually to do a house clearing. So let's put a bubble of love and light around your home space. And is this just home space? Yeah, put a bubble of love and light around your home space. What are we clearing for home spaces? Let's clear all vortex or portal energies. Portal energies above or below your bed that are creating a block to getting a restful sleep. You're feeling like your brain can't shut down because there's too much energetic activity in the room. Clear helplessness, clear addictions, and clear hate of life. So what I'm hearing for some of you is you're listening to this and the holiday thing just didn't really feel like it was for you. This is the piece that's for you. Let's clear negativity. Let's look at any imprints from past occupants in the home. Release unforgiveness, release frustration, release anger, and release brain damage programs. Let's look at all spaces in or around the home. So we're talking about property. Let's look at your property. So this is around and below your home space. Now this is even if you live in an apartment. I want to look at the land around your home and beneath. And so I'm just going to ask that any ley lines under the home or the home space are filled with love and light. What are we downloading to the land? Download energies of loyalty, comfort, stability, love of men, love of life, love of women, love of self, sincerity, and freedom. What else are we downloading to the land? Those of you who just seem to be having issues, plumbing problems, issues with water, what are we clearing around that? Let's clear all programs of victimization around through the home space. Give everybody a boost. Anything else I need to look at? Is there anything else that we've missed, and is there anything more to do? So in terms of self-care around the holiday season, what are we downloading to everyone? To download courage. It takes courage to create space for yourself, because there are times when your personal care time will feel inconvenient to others, and that's okay. They can shift. You need to have your personal care time. And so let's clear any blocks to self-esteem, forgiveness, strength, joy, love, loyalty, and wholeness. You don't have to explain what you're doing or why you need to do it. You're unavailable. End of story. No explanation. Let's clear all blocks to receiving. Okay, now any other blocks to receiving? To what degree is that then